Hi and welcome to Scrapbook Drama, where we like our pages layered just like we like our dramas. Hi everyone and welcome to today's video where I'll be making a page or 2 pages that involve the scene, the bathtub scene, where our hero and heroine are first kind of flirting, and then there's a danger outside and Mo Lian Cheng has to kind of protect Qu Xiao Tan, and it's a very intense scene, but also a little bit lighthearted as well at the end. So in this spread, I'm going to use some dialogue that I've printed out already and using Microsoft Word. And then by way of background, I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this paper that's very thin, and when put against the backdrop of some blue paper, kind of reminded me of water, and it reminded me of the water in the bathtub. So I want to do something like that, but I didn't want it to get too thick with 2 layers of paper, especially because I'm also going to be using some paper to use as a border around the pictures. So what I decided to do instead was to use watercolor on the background here to color these a light blue color. That way when I place the fabric paper on top, there'll be a light blue color showing through. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go prepare my watercolors, and when I come back, I will show you how I put the watercolor on the paper. Okay, I'm back. So I mixed some colors just to see what shade I wanted, and I decided I wanted it to be this kind of bluish color here, and so that's what I'm going to go with. I put a bunch of paper behind the paper that I'm going to be using, and hopefully that will work out okay. I'm actually going to, I think, since I have something on the other side here, I'm going to skip a page there, and then that way, just in case something happens, I don't ruin the page underneath. Okay, there we go. So then I'm just going to add the color, and I don't have to be very meticulous about it, because when it dries, it will all dry okay. Except for getting rid of something like this, which I don't know what that was there. Okay, and I'm very happy with the colors so far. Okay, and now that it's done, I'm going to let it dry, but first I'm going to let it dry up to a certain point, and while it's still a little bit wet, but not super wet to where like it'll get ruined, I will put a piece of paper underneath, in between the two, and then I will close the paper down like this, and then I'll put something heavy over it so that it dries straight and not wrinkly. So that's what I'm going to do now, and when I come back, then I'll be ready to put the other paper on top. Okay, so this is what it looks like. There are a few imperfections, but that's okay, because when we put it down, nothing can be seen, as you can tell. So what I'm going to do now is put some glue on top of here. Move that over. I'm probably just going to do the edges. I don't know what the glue will look like. Well, I can't quite tell. It's okay. So when I come back, this will be all glued down. Alright, so this is what it looks like all pasted down. It has a very, very light blue undertone to it. I know it might look a little gray on the camera, but it's very light blue. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, where'd my pictures go? Oh, there they are. I'm going to take some paper, some scrap paper, and I'm going to cut out borders for each one. I'm going to do yellow on this side and blue on this side to just sort of show the contrast between the lightheartedness on this side and the more sort of intensity here, which is why I have the dialogue in yellow over here and in blue on this side. So I'm going to use a more yellow border color here. And so I'm going to do that, and then I'm also going to cut out the dialogue here, and then when I come back I'll be gluing it all down. Okay, so I cut everything out and put the pictures on pieces of paper so that there's a border around them. But when I did that, it made everything a little bit bigger than I was anticipating. So there's not a lot of room for anything else. And especially on this side, I had to cut out Xiao Tan's dialogue because otherwise it didn't fit. And even then, I think I'm going to have to overlap a little bit here unless I want to make the border a little bit smaller, which I don't think I do. So in any case, now I have to figure out exactly how I want to paste everything down so that it looks nice, and then if there's any kind of embellishments I want to add. But essentially this is what it looks like. Okay, I'm back. So I decided to draw the bucket that had the water and the ladle that was used in the bathtub scene. So now I'm going to color them in. I'm using two different kinds of colored pencils, and that's what I'm going to do now. So here we go. Now, because I'll be cutting out the picture itself, it's okay that I went outside the lines a little bit. And because the light source I'm imagining is coming from this side, I'm making it a little darker on this side over here, and then inside as well, the inside of the bucket. And anything that would be blocked. Okay, now for the ladle, this part right here was a more of an orangey sort of brown, and then there were two kinds of yellow on the outside and then a darker brown here, so that's what I'm going to use. Now I'm going to use some spirits to blend it all together. Okay, so this is how I think it all looked, so I'm going to now cut it all out. Okay, so I cut out the two embellishments here, and so I'm going to add them here and here, or maybe here and here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay. There we go. Okay, I feel like that adds a little something to it. Okay, well, I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. I did want to show you a couple of the scenes from, so the last time that the last video I had done was this one, and then there were a couple scenes that happened in between, like this one where Qu Xiao Tan meets Mo Lian and basically tells him that it's over, and Liang Cheng is eavesdropping and kind of feels good that, you know, that his love is telling her former love that it's over. And then there's the scene where they fall off the cliff. So I didn't make videos of those because there wasn't anything interesting that I could do with those. But here is the video, the scene for the video for today. And that's where we're at as of now in terms of the scenes. And I look forward to the next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and make a comment below if you have any questions or comments. Thanks!